Hey, how's it going, everyone? So, I'm doing a video on the fertilizers that I use to help my cacti bloom and bud. And not bud as in a new arm, but bud as in a flower bud. So, when you look at fertilizers, always look at, they will all have a ratio here of these three numbers. These are the three main fertilizers, which is NPK. That's from the periodic table, but if you look at this, this is nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Sometimes people call this phosphate and potash, but yeah. So NPK. So if you want it to grow really vigorous, you would want this to be a higher number. But when the middle number is big, this is the phosphate or phosphorus. That is what makes it bloom. But this is actually like a plumeria fertilizer, and for flowers, for like garden flowers. So for cacti, this is kind of overkill, and this number is way too high. So if you see here, this says for let's see, soil drench, 1 tablespoon per gallon of water. So what I do is dilute this into a 5-gallon bucket. I put 1 tablespoon, so it comes down to 1, 10, and like, I don't know, 3, I think. Yeah. So it'll bring this down. It'll dilute this 3 ways, or maybe 6, 5 and something. Anyway, so it'll dilute this 5 ways. So yeah, it would be 1, 10, 3. I don't know. It's too early for me to do math. Anyways, but yeah, the 50 will be diluted down to 10. That'll be the strength. And I also love using this one, though. I've been using this one for years. This is Dr. Earth. Before it was Flower Girl, it would just say Bud and Bloom, but now it's called Flower Girl. This is a completely organic and natural fertilizer here. And you can see the NPK is 394. And this I apply every month or two. And you could see all the different bacillus, all these other ingredients that are in here. And this is derived from fish bone meal, alfalfa meal, potassium sulfate, feather meal, kelp meal, and kelp flour. And I do use a kelp fertilizer about once a month, and I'll do a video on that. But this video is just on fertilizer for budding and blooming to get flowers. And if you see, let's see, where's the... Okay, so it says to use 1 cup for every 10 square feet on established plants. It says every 2 months. I use it from spring on. I'll use it about once every month and a half. And while they're blooming, and I'll just get a handful and dose it around. And this is not really granules; it's a powder. It has all these ingredients that are mixed in. Let me crack this open, see what it looks like. Let's see, it's not really granules. It's like they're not pellets or anything. It's just like a mixed powder of all the ingredients. And what I'll do, I'm going to use this today. I'll show you here. This is a stump I got. Let's see if I could get this to bloom off these little pups. So what you do is just sprinkle this around. And it's supposed to rain tonight. And tomorrow morning. So this will help. I won't have to water this in. So every watering, it will get fertilized, and it says on the instructions once every 2 months. So it'll keep feeding this. But organic fertilizer doesn't help it induce budding as fast as like a chemical fertilizer like this one. This is not organic. This is let's see. You see, these are different This is a chemical fertilizer, but it does have boron. It has a lot of good other nutrients here to help the plant. So I will use this maybe once in a year per plant, but I do dilute it. And but the one I do use more is this one right here. I'll just go ahead and sprinkle that on, and I'll use this on everything that I want to bud. So these guys I don't think have roots. I will not bother. This Acanthosarius here, I will put some of this fertilizer in there, and I kind of just eyeball it. I'll kind of just put some right there. Let's see. This is a Penniosarius serpentinus. I will put some of this on here. I will put this on my citrus. These are some fig trees, and I'll put some of this on my fig trees also. And again, I am not going to water this in because it's going to rain tonight and tomorrow morning. So I'll let nature do its do the watering. This has 1 or 2 buds, but I want it to bud more, so I will add a little of this fertilizer here. And you don't want that much fertilizer in your plants, but I mean this is just going to help it push the buds on this. There's a small stellatus over here. Yeah. And here I have a lemon tree. It's full of buds. I don't think that needs any fertilizer. And I won't show this in the video, but I use this fertilizer for all my dragon fruit plants. I have like 30 or 40 varieties. And I use this fertilizer for my dragon fruit. Yeah. And it says once every 2 months. I tend to use it once every month and a half, every month sometimes. And once I got these for half off, and last year they were half the cost. They were 2 bags for the price of 1, and I bought like 20 bags. Yeah, so I still have a lot of this. I'm set for the year, maybe even next. So this is a young Stenoceras pernosus. It hasn't budded yet. I'm gonna put this budding fertilizer. I don't think it's gonna bud, but a little more nutrients won't help. Will hopefully won't hurt. Let's see what else I have here. Yeah, so I'll go around the garden, and whatever I feel like I want to give this fertilizer to, like definitely this really fat Huasticorum here. I believe it might be a Huasticorum hybrid. Now this has a lot of weeds I need to clean out. And these other Stenoceras are not budding yet. I have some Querétaroenses here, and some Martinezii here too. And these are too young to flower, but I'm still gonna add some fertilizer. This is Cereus rosiflores, Stenoceras chrysocarpus, Stenoceras frizii. I have all these cacti here, and this is what I'm going to use. Again, I just put a little bit on every pot. It fits in the ground. I'll just sprinkle some around. If the plant is already getting buds, if it has like 1 or 2, I'll put some. But I'll show you these Querétaroenses that have a lot of buds. I will not even bother to put more fertilizer on that because they're set. Like something like this one, look, it's full of buds. I'm not going to put fertilizer on it. I'm not going to put this budding fertilizer. This one has a lot of buds. I am not going to put budding fertilizer. This one doesn't have as many buds as this one. I'm going to fertilize this one only because it has these 2 huge fat arms. They're fat. And I want to see if I could get them to bloom. So I'm going to try to inoculate this and put some of this budding fertilizer to see if I could get those these arms to bloom, which is a long shot, but I'm willing to give it a shot. Anyways, guys, I won't bore you as I put this budding fertilizer all over all of my Stenosarius and a bunch of other plants and cacti. Like if I see, like, I have a fig tree here. But again, this is my favorite fertilizer. It's not super strong. It's a MPK, has a 394, and that middle number is the phosphorus. That's the money right there. And I will put these on all my Stenosarius that are of budding age, but they don't have buds yet. And whatever probably is like an adolescent that might bud, I'll put this too, just in case it'll help it push out a bud or two. That'll be great. Anyways, guys, that's it. I just want to show you guys my budding and blooming fertilizer. Until next time, guys, if you use something else that you've had good success with, a budding fertilizer, let me know down in the comments. For my indoor seedlings, well, I don't use anything to make them bud, but I do use like a tomato fertilizer. For all my seedlings, I use a tomato fertilizer. And aside from a budding fertilizer, I do use fertilizer for them to grow. I use a cow meal and a master blend fertilizer that I have to mix all the ingredients to make a concoction. And I'll go ahead and water these all of my cacti with that during the growing season. But right now, we're just getting into the growing season. Spring has just started. It's been raining these past 2 days. Tonight it's going to rain. Tomorrow it's going to rain. So since the growing season just started, this is a fertilizer you want to use. Help it push out buds. For my dragon fruit, this is what I'm going to use. All right, guys. Cheers for now. Happy cactusing.